Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 439. Phil Graham here, and today I want to talk about the dumbest Facebook and Instagram ad advice that I still see on a regular basis. There is so much bad advice out there being given by fake gurus, by scammers, by people trying to become influencers, even though they've maybe never even run ads themselves. It is everywhere. And a lot of this bad advice just won't die, even though it either hasn't worked for a lot of years or maybe has never even worked. They don't know what they're doing. But all they do is sit there and post all day and try and build a following, which technically makes them maybe look like they might be successful. However, they have no clue what they're talking about. And then a lot of people follow these things and then they end up failing. So today we're going to talk about some of the worst Facebook ad tips that I see people still using and talking about and how you can avoid them and what you can do differently. So welcome to the show. I'm glad you guys are here. It's October 7th. I can't believe we're almost at the end of the year. Like, this is nuts. What are you guys up to these days? Are you getting ready for the holidays? Are you not even in that mode yet? You know, a lot of people are not ready to start doing the holidays yet, which I totally understand. No Christmas lights up here yet, I'll tell you that. But once we get to November, that might change. So we'll see. But anyway, before we jump into the content, just briefly, I want to mention, if you guys are looking for any help with your ads, whether it's with the ads themselves, with your marketing, or AI specifically as it relates to marketing and ads, there's really two good options that I think are the best. Number one, if you want to learn how to do it yourself, or maybe you kind of know how, but you want to get better, then I believe one-on-one coaching is by far the best way to go. Like, it's not even close. That's an amazing way to learn. So one-on-one coaching is one option. The other option is having it done for you if you don't want to do it yourself. For either one of those things, if you're interested, if you want to talk about it, let me know. You can visit my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital, and let's connect. So I want to jump right into this bad advice because there is so much of it and so many people fail because of it. Now, let me be clear. Just because you avoid this advice doesn't mean you're automatically going to succeed. There's a lot of fake guru idiots out there that'll tell you that you'll succeed no matter what if you do whatever they tell you it is they want you to do. That's a sure sign to run the other way that they are a scammer because they cannot promise that. That's not reality. However, I will say that when you avoid bad practices and what I would consider bad advice, it gives you a much better chance for success. With that being said, let's talk about some of the worst Facebook and Instagram ad advice I'm seeing on a regular basis. So number one, let's talk about the test everything all at once crowd. So their whole philosophy is they tell you to just put everything out there, test your copy, your headlines, your creatives, do it all at once. I see this all the time. I'll see an ad set with a budget and then there'll be like 50 ads in there and they're all sharing the same budget. They all have a different amount of reach and you're trying to compare things and it's impossible because that is not how you should do it. In fact, if you want to fail, that's one of the quickest and best ways to fail. Do not test everything all at once. That is insane. If you want to test your ad copy, run 2 ads that have identical targeting, identical creatives like video or image, and the only difference is one part of the ad copy. Everything else is identical. And do that. You want to test a headline? Run 2 different ads where everything else is the same except the headline, because then no matter what happens, whether it's bad or good, when there's only one difference between 2 ads, you know that that difference is what caused whatever result you got. And then you are way smarter because of it and you can learn more. But these people that are crazy, that say just test everything all at once, they don't have a clue what they're talking about. Like, that's literally insane. It's one of the quickest ways to lose money consistently. So instead of doing that, isolate one variable per test for every 2 ads that you're testing and test it and get data. And if you've got a large budget, then you can do a bunch of tests all at once because you can have one variable for every 2 ads. So if you had 10 ads going, you could have 5 different tests running, but each test only has one variable. Okay, bad tip number 2 is a lot of people are saying, just do it the easy way. Just boost your post. Please don't do this. That's like riding a bike with training wheels. It's way too limited. You have limited control, bad optimization. It's so easy to do. Like another example on that is, I don't really gamble, but in a casino, I know that slot machines are the easiest thing to do, but they also have the worst odds. And so I kind of look at boosting posts this way too. Your control is way too limited. So if you want to run an ad, run an ad. You can even use a post ID. If you want to use a post that you made that maybe got some good engagement and you want that to be an ad, you can actually do that by taking the training wheels off and running it in Ads Manager like a real ad and using that same post ID. So please just do not ever boost a post, ever, ever, ever. Run real ads through Ads Manager. You'll have way more control and better optimization, and I think it gives you a much better chance to have potential success. Bad tip number 3 is using some targeting where you have way too many options. Like, for example, I see this all the time and I see people teaching it. If you're going to do an interest targeting option, I see like 50 different interests targeted, or even 20 or 30. That's horrible. You don't want to do that because here's the thing. What if you have 30 interests in your audience? Okay. What if 1 or 2 of those are good and the other 28 or 29 are bad? How will you ever know what's causing the results you're getting? There's like 30 interests in there. You're never going to know if it's working, which ones are making it work. And then you can go and scale it, and it's going to start spreading it out to other interests too in there that aren't going to work. And you're just going to have no clue what's going on. That is not the way to do it. So many people do it like this. I've seen so many ad accounts like this where people are failing. They're frustrated. They're in the dark. They have no clue what to do. And this is not a good idea. So I do love interest targeting, especially you could stack it with behaviors and demographics and stuff like that. But the thing is, when I do this, I only have a couple different interests. I might have 1 or 2, and that's it, and maybe 1 behavior. Because then, no matter what happens, I can then do a couple other tests and quickly determine which one of those created the result that we had, whether it was bad or good. And then if it's bad, I can try and change it and fix it. If it's good, I can do more of it more confidently and have a better chance of success. So please do not listen to the people that are telling you to put all kinds of targeting options in there, because that's like flying blind and you're probably going to fail. And last but not least, bad tip number 4, Advantage Plus. Meta says to use it pretty much all the time. There's a lot of people that just parrot that out and spout all that information out, because they promote it heavily. However, it is not for everyone. There's been so many times where I'll run an Advantage Plus and I'll run like a segmented audience beside it, maybe a retargeting audience beside that, and a lookalike. So I got a bunch of different things going in different campaigns. And Advantage Plus sometimes works great. I still like it and use it. However, I don't rely on it blindly, which is what most people do. Most people only do that. The problem is with Advantage Plus, you're targeting a huge amount of people. Sometimes it's like 100 million people. And you've got this generic ad copy that has to try and reach all these people that's not going to be really specific to them. And a lot of times that doesn't work very well. You're not Coca-Cola. You can't just run ads for 5 years with no return and just keep throwing money away. So that can be a real challenge. So my solution for you guys is this. I'm not saying don't use Advantage Plus. I'm saying don't rely on it blindly, and don't only use Advantage Plus, because it might be the worst option for you in some situations. So use it. Test it, but in addition to that, test other audiences. Test smaller segmented audiences that have maybe a couple million people in there, that have maybe an interest and a behavior and a demographic, for example, and then match your ad copy to that real avatar that you're targeting. And that can be something that could work really amazing. It does in many situations. Test the lookalikes. Obviously, you want to do retargeting as well. But the moral of this story here is don't just blindly and only use Advantage Plus, because I think for so many advertisers, that is a very costly mistake. Again, I'm not saying not to use it. I'm saying don't just use it. Sometimes Advantage Plus can be great, but other times it's horrible, and a different audience can be much better. So do both. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to just do Advantage Plus. You can test other stuff and see what works better for your exact situation. So to summarize, a lot of bad ad advice and really some of the worst ad advice sounds really simple and easy to do. And that's the problem. I wouldn't follow tips that feel good and feel like it's push button easy, and then they end up producing bad results and they're wasting your time and wasting your money. Having a smarter strategy is a much better idea. And I believe if you avoid a lot of these bad tips, and there's more, but these are some of the main ones. If you avoid them, I think it gives you a much better chance to succeed. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. So episode 439 is in the books. Thank you guys so much for being here. I got another great episode for you next week, as usual. Until then, if you want to get in touch, philgrahamdigital.com is the website, or you can DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you on next week's episode. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.